Good day and welcome to the Ecumenical Church of the Occitanie. Thank you for joining us on these short videos, and a reminder that recorded services and further updates can be found on our Facebook page. Well, today is very sunny. It's 24 degrees. It's a little bit of paradise here. What's your idea of paradise? A holiday on a quiet sunny island, or an all-inclusive cruise? A chance to climb the Himalayas, or a yoga retreat? I've chosen to come here today to the lake at Catus. It provides a kind of paradise, a homespun kind of holiday destination for young families and children in the summer. Surrounded by wooded hills, they can enjoy the simple pleasures of paddling, swimming, boating in the waters here, followed by an ice cream or a snack at the pop-up bar, and then a game of tennis or the climbing frames, and maybe a game of ball with your dog. If paradise is half as nice as this, we should be hopeful and thankful, as here there still exists the simple kind of carefree resort of yesteryear. I'm drawn to the subject of paradise because Jesus uses the word from the cross when challenged by criminals. Luke 23. Here's a reminder from the New Living Translation. But the other criminal protested, "Do you not fear God even when you have been sentenced to die? We deserve to die for our crimes, but this man hasn't done anything wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And Jesus replied, "I assure you today you will be with me in paradise." It is unusual to find this word on Jesus' lips. Essentially, it's of Persian origin. It's found 3 times in its Hebrew form in the Old Testament to describe a place of abundance, fruit trees, vines, a place of plenty. In later Jewish literature, it came more and more to mean a state of blessedness, and increasingly in the spiritual sense, which is how we find it in Luke, Paul, and in Revelation. Now, I wonder what Jesus' idea of paradise was. Was it an allusion to the Garden of Eden, where God intended us to be forever, with its fresh waters and all manners of plants and fruits? Many of those who came from a desert people saw perfection in the image of a garden. Or was he thinking of a fantastical house that his father had, remembering the words from John's Gospel, "Do not be worried and upset. There are many rooms in my Father's house, and I am going to prepare a place for you. I will come back and take you to myself so that you will be where I am." This promise from Jesus is interesting because paradise is to be entered in on the day of their deaths. There is no mention of Jesus descending into hell, as in the Apostles' Creed. That Jesus' body was said to lay in a tomb for 3 days before it was resurrected seems irrelevant to the state of his spirit or his very essence. Some church teachings place paradise as a precursor to heaven, even a kind of limbo, perhaps encouraged by St. Paul, speaking of having a glimpse of a third heaven. Some even think that paradise was in Sheol. Quite how these ideas overlap with the kingdom of heaven is difficult and beyond me at this time. What we know is that the criminal who acknowledged his own wrongdoings accepted Jesus' divinity and made an offer he could not refuse. He would take it on trust. Whatever language we use to describe a place called paradise, we will surely fail if it is a state of being, full of bliss and delight, a place where the relationship with God is good and has not been spoilt, a state of free from sin, a place to experience the joy of eternal peace. We are heading through Holy Week and can see the cross looming. As ghastly as it was, we call it Good Friday, because the purpose of the sacrifice was to bring humanity back from its position of alienation, restore it and reframe it so that individuals could be brought back to God. That is paradise. If we can hold on to the promise Jesus makes to the man next to him and to all who recognize their failings in the presence of the divine, it is going to be indeed a Good Friday. Yes, it's hard to imagine how that can be. Our language and our minds are too inadequate. What we do know and trust is that at the end of his time on earth, Jesus turned and spoke words of forgiveness to his executioners and took that trusting man to paradise with him. Our greatest hope is that in his divinity, he will allow us at our ending to follow him on the same pathway to paradise.